Mitchell with 5 seconds left. Cross court Clark. Does Clark see the clock? Handoff Samuelson. Who buries a three?
And sometimes I don't even realize how far away I am. Like I watch it back on film and I'm like, wow, I should not shoot that shot.
Caitlin Clark just broke another record, and Simone Biles was there to see it. What's the big deal? Well, Clark's not just breaking records, she's changing the game. You might be wondering how one rookie can shake up the entire WNBA. Stick around, because we're about to show you why Clark's latest move isn't just turning heads, it's turning the whole league upside down. You've seen the highlights, but Clark's journey to stardom has a plot twist worthy of a Hollywood script. Remember that driveway in Iowa where it all began? It holds the key to understanding how she bounced back from a setback that would have crushed most rookies. Picture this, a young Caitlin Clark, basketball in hand, dribbling on the cracked concrete of her family's driveway. The Iowa wind whips around her as she takes shot after shot, dreaming of the bright lights and roaring crowds. Little did she know, those countless hours of practice were laying the foundation for a record-breaking career that would captivate the nation. But here's the thing, Clark's path to WNBA stardom wasn't all smooth sailing. As she stepped onto the college court, the weight of expectations settled on her shoulders like a heavy jersey. Everyone was watching, waiting to see if this small-town girl could live up to the hype. And boy, did she deliver in college. Clark's name became synonymous with jaw-dropping performances and shattered records. She wasn't just good, she was rewriting the history books with every game. Fans couldn't get enough, and scouts were practically salivating at the thought of her joining the pro ranks. So when draft day rolled around, it was no surprise that Clark's name was called early.
Any turnovers, that's not going to get the job done, but I think just a lot of things to learn from. I didn't think we played well.
With AB, like you can still just see our connection, even though we're not with the whole Fever team, like we still have that connection. And then
the WNBA was buzzing with anticipation. Would she dominate from day one? Could she single-handedly change the league's landscape? But here's where our story takes an unexpected turn. Remember that driveway in Iowa? Those long hours of practice? They were about to be put to the ultimate test. As Clark stepped onto the WNBA court for the first time, something felt off. The speed of the game, the physicality, the pressure. It was a whole new ball game. Suddenly, the unstoppable force that tore through college defenses found herself struggling to find her rhythm. You might be wondering, how could this happen to Caitlin Clark of all people? Well, even the brightest stars need time to adjust to the big leagues. And Clark? She was facing the toughest challenge of her career so far. But remember those countless shots in the driveway? That's where Clark's true strength lies. It's not just about talent, it's about resilience. While some rookies might have crumbled under the pressure, Clark dug deep. She went back to basics, channeling that same determination that drove her to practice for hours in the Iowa cold. And then something clicked. It wasn't overnight, and it wasn't easy, but Clark started to find her groove. Those struggles, they were just fuel for her comeback story. Game by game, play by play, she began to show flashes of the brilliance that made her a college sensation. Grit and talent are one thing, but Clark's latest feat? It's got the whole league buzzing. You think you've seen all she can do? Think again. There's a reason arenas are packed and viewership is through the roof. And it's not just about buckets. Clark's game against the New York Liberty was nothing short of spectacular. With Simone Biles watching from the stands, Clark put on a show that left everyone speechless.
Taurasi, what a spin! Taurasi a finish!
Man.
A 20-year veteran, Diana Taurasi, dialing back.
I'm gonna do my best. I mean, it's still really hard basketball, like playing at this level. Everybody's gonna be, competing really hard coming back from the break, obviously with playoffs on the line.
Her step back three against Dejanai Carrington, pure magic. Clark seized the moment when Carrington tripped over her teammate, quickly sinking another shot from downtown. That's the kind of opportunistic play that sets the great ones apart. But Clark's not just about scoring. Her vision on the court is next level. In a pick-and-roll play with Aaliyah Boston, Clark delivered a pass so slick it left defenders scratching their heads. It's plays like these that make you realize you're watching something special unfold. Now, you might be thinking, sure, she can score and pass, but what about the rest of her game? Well, Clark's not one to slack off. She finished with 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's the kind of all-around performance that makes coaches smile and opponents sweat. Here's where Clark's impact really shines. She's not just putting up numbers, she's elevating everyone around her. When Clark's on the court, defenses can't help but zero in on her. And that opens up opportunities for her teammates. Suddenly, players who might have been overlooked are finding themselves with open looks and clear paths to the basket. But Clark's influence isn't confined to the hardwood. The Indiana Fever's attendance? Through the roof. Viewership? Skyrocketing. People aren't just tuning in to watch a game, they're tuning in to witness a phenomenon. Clark's not just playing basketball, she's putting on a show that's captivating fans old and new.
You know, I would have liked to play a little better tonight. I think all of us would say that if we were all sitting up here, and as a team collectively, we would have liked to play better and
Just have all the confidence in the world. The basket looks really big, so I know exactly how she felt. Like she was just in the zone. Like,
You want to talk about impact? Let's talk about what Clark's doing for women's basketball as a whole. She's not just breaking records, she's breaking barriers. Young girls watching Clark play aren't just seeing an athlete, they're seeing a role model, a trailblazer. They're seeing possibilities they might never have imagined before. And it's not just the fans who are taking notice. The basketball world is buzzing with excitement. As one observer put it, what Caitlin Clark is doing isn't just impressive from a sports perspective, it's revolutionary for the WNBA as a whole. That's not hyperbole, that's the reality of Clark's impact. Clark's record-breaking performance has the basketball world buzzing, but her meteoric rise comes with a hefty price tag. As she rockets to stardom, a shadow looms over her future. What's the one thing that could derail her incredible journey? You might think it's all smooth sailing from here, but Clark's facing a whole new set of challenges. Defenses are adapting, studying her every move. They're not just trying to stop her, they're building entire game plans around shutting her down. It's like playing chess, but the opponent knows your strategy before you even make your first move. But Clark? She's not backing down, she's evolving.
Fever have beaten the Mercury for 3 times in the regular season. Indiana sweeps the season series.
well, the first thing is I feel like I know if it's going in right off my hand, and I think that just speaks to how much time I put in and how many shots I've taken.
Caitlin Clark unloads!
Finding new ways to impact the game. It's not just about scoring anymore. She's elevating her teammates, making everyone around her better. That's the mark of a true superstar. Let's talk about the Indiana Fever for a second. Their 15-16 record might not look impressive on paper, but it tells a story of a team fighting tooth and nail for a playoff spot. And guess who's leading that charge? Yep, you guessed it. Clark's not just putting up numbers, she's carrying the hopes of an entire franchise on her shoulders. And now, you might be wondering about that Rookie of the Year race. Sure, there's competition, but many believe Clark's already got it in the bag. Her impact goes beyond stats. She's changing the way people view women's basketball. When Clark steps on the court, it's not just a game, it's an event. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's journey isn't just about personal glory. She's become the face of women's basketball, inspiring a whole new generation of young athletes. Girls watching Clark play aren't just seeing a basketball player, they're seeing possibilities. They're seeing dreams turn into reality. Think about it. How many kids are out there right now practicing their jump shot in their driveway, imagining they're Caitlin Clark? How many parents are suddenly interested in taking their daughters to WNBA games? That's the Clark effect in action. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility. Sorry, couldn't resist a little Spider-Man reference there. The pressure on Clark is intense. Every game, every shot, every decision is scrutinized.
Coach said they took 66 shots, we took 50. Like, you know, it's really hard to win games when you give them 16 more opportunities than we had.
I had a lot of fun just playing and enjoying the atmosphere, like talking with the people courtside. Like, I was just trying to smile and have fun. Like, it doesn't really matter, like, win or lost.
She's not just playing for herself or her team anymore. She's playing for the future of women's basketball. And that future? It's looking brighter than ever. Clark's success is opening doors, changing perceptions, and challenging old stereotypes about women in sports. She's not just breaking records, she's breaking barriers. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Clark's still a rookie, and the WNBA is a tough league. She's gonna face setbacks, bad games, and moments of doubt. How she handles those challenges will define her career just as much as her highlight reel plays. The road ahead isn't going to be easy. As Clark's reputation grows, so does the target on her back. Every team will be gunning for her, trying to prove they can stop the unstoppable. It's going to take everything she's got, physically and mentally, to stay on top. From Iowa's heartland to WNBA stardom, Caitlin Clark's journey is the stuff of legends. That record-breaking night with Simone Biles watching, it's more than just a highlight reel moment. It's a symbol of women's sports rising to new heights in our culture. Clark isn't just changing the game, she's redefining what's possible. Every time she steps on the court, she's inspiring a new generation of athletes to dream bigger. Young girls watching Clark play aren't just seeing a basketball player, they're seeing their own potential unlocked. But here's the real question. As Clark continues to shatter records and expectations, what impossible dreams will she inspire others to chase? Her impact goes beyond the court. She's not just playing basketball, she's changing the narrative of what women can achieve in sports. And that's a game changer for everyone.